Welcome to the Locks and Dogs NFL Picks Podcast Week 6 edition. We've got the NFL locks and a few dogs that you need to hear, and the podcast starts right now. Hey, this is Matt.
This is Mark.
And welcome to the Week 6 edition, Locks and Dogs Podcast. Mark, Week 5 in the books. That's almost, we're almost a third of the way through the season.
I can't believe it.
Slipping by. Yeah, week 5 did not treat us very nice. Well, I was the king of the afternoon slate again. I had a rough start to the early games. I only had 2 winners out of the early slate, but then I rallied, battled back hard. Eagles, Jets, Niners, all cash. The only one I missed on was the Cardinals. And if I'm honest, that was probably a too cute pick. Jamar Chase was kind of due for a breakout, especially with T. Higgins not in the lineup. The Cardinals kind of were who we thought they were. But week 5. What jumped out to you? Anything?
Well, I'd like to start by paying my respects to the late, great Chicago Bear legend Dick Butkus. I would like to note, however, that had he passed on a Friday instead of the Thursday, the Commanders would have won that Thursday night game.
Probably right. So, yeah. Pour one out for Dick Butkus. He's tearing someone's face off in heaven right now.
As far as that London game, I probably should have stuck with my initial observation that the Jaguars are pretty much a home team in London. Yeah. And should have stuck with that.
Well, also the fact that they stayed out there. Like they were, again, that body clock thing I feel is real. So, yeah, but either way, yeah, that Jaguars game was... I don't know what to... Okay, I didn't know what to make of the Bills before that game. And now that they picked up a couple like bad injuries, I really don't know what to make of that team anymore. They're either a legitimate Super Bowl contender or they're going to miss the playoffs, and I have no idea which. And I think it's closer to missing the playoffs than being a legit Super Bowl contender, which is weird to me because that team was, 2 years ago, that team was a truck. But I guess as long as they have Josh Allen, I guess their window is going to be open for a while, though. Still, it doesn't seem like it's Josh Allen at the height of his powers anymore, though, which is odd to me.
But we also had the Patriots suffer a goose egg at home to the Saints.
Well, I don't have a whole lot to say about that game, honestly. I think it's time for Bailey Zappi. I think it's time, 34-0. I can't imagine you can get much worse. I mean...
No, I can't.
That especially, we watched, we had that on one of the TVs on Sunday, and that was, that game definitely happened.
Yeah.
It seemed like every time that it was constantly 3rd and long for the Patriots, and Mac Jones was constantly running for his life, and that was... I mean, I guess they just can't block anything, I guess, at least against the Saints. I did hit my lock last week. I was proud of that. The 49ers, that was one of the easiest locks I think I've ever hit in my life. Obvious side, obvious play, lock it, You had who'd you have as your lock last week?
The Commanders.
Ooh. Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We both had. Last week's dog, I hit my dog as well with the Jets. Again, one of the easiest dogs I think I've ever hit in my life. Really glad that I had the reads in both those games. Who was your dog last week? Do you remember?
The Jets also.
Oh, okay.
That was my safe play for the dog.
Yeah, Jets are little dog barking, man. I'm telling you. You ready to slide into Week 6 and see what we got?
Let's do it.
All right, Week 6 starts with Thursday Night Football. Broncos at Chiefs. Chiefs minus 10.5. Early betting trend so far: 54% of the bets in the spread coming in the Chiefs. 96% of the money. 96% of the bets in the money line on the Chiefs. 78% of the bets coming in on the under. In fact, this is the under. The point total on this one initially opened at 51. I think it's at 48, 47.5, depending on the book you use now. It's moved quite a bit since the open.
I took the under early at 51.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Smart. Yeah, I think somebody must have been using like a Broncos game scoring 51 points. I can't. Oh, I mean, I guess they gave up 70 to the Dolphins, so I guess maybe 51 isn't that ridiculous. So for this one, is there any case for the Broncos that you could see?
No, I mean they looked pretty terrible against the Jets. The Chiefs are exactly where they should be right now. Travis Kelce will be playing, from what I understand. He is practicing today, so it looks like they're all ready to go. Yeah, the Broncos are just a dumpster fire right now.
They really are. I mean, what's weird to me is that it's really not Russ's fault. It really isn't. I don't think he's. I haven't seen him like last year. Like it was obvious it was the play calling. It was really hamstringing that team. There was a lot. They looked totally unprepared. They look more prepared this year, but I feel like there's like some give up on that team. Like I don't see the defense trying. I mean, you gave up 70 points. Come on, man. That's somebody quitting. I don't know when they quit. I think they probably quit for that first Tyreek Hill touchdown. But yeah, they look like they've given up. Honestly, that team is like waving the white flag. I'm on the Chiefs. I'm tempted to lock this up at 10.5. I think it's Broncos on the road. road on a short week.
Yeah, I think you can make a pretty strong case for locking that up.
I don't. They're 0-4-1 against the spread this year. They've yet to cover a game. So, Broncos are auto fade until I see them actually cover a game. Yeah, I'm on the Chiefs as well, and I really don't see a case for the Broncos. Next up on our list, heading into the London game. Ravens at Titans. We've had some early line movement here. It's now Ravens minus 4.5, over under at 40. Okay, the early bets so far, 85% of the bets in the spread have come in on the Titans. We've actually seen this one move. It opened at minus 5.5. It's now down to minus 4.5 for the Ravens. Currently at 40. Opened at 45.5. It's moved 5 points. That's a beefy movement. 77% of the bets coming into the under. Go figure. Money line, 69% of the bets coming in on the Ravens. Okay. We watched both of these teams last week pretty extensively. They're both coming off losses. What do you do here?
This one's kind of a toss-up for me.
Yeah.
The Ravens, got beat by the Steelers defense. I kind of think that these are just two mediocre teams, and it's kind of hard to pick. But I'm going with the Titans plus 4.5. I'm basically using the same logic that you've used in the past, that they're more of a veteran team, and they'll probably wind up performing better.
I was on the Titans because I love the Titans, but then I found out the Ravens left early to go to London. Okay, so what we saw on Sunday, I saw a lot of frustration on the Ravens sideline. You saw Lamar Jackson stomping around. I think he spiked the ball a couple of times. It was just like WTF guys, let's get this going. So there was a lot of frustration on the Ravens sideline on Sunday. So I think this is going to be a good thing for them. Get the team, get out of the U.S., get over to the U.K., prepare, do the prep there, and then come out. Hopefully the body clocks will be adjusted by then, and they'll be good to go for Sunday. This will be a good road trip for them to kind of get some of that team unity back. I hope. We've watched a lot of we've watched a lot of Titans football this year, and that offense just doesn't seem to work the way it needs to work. The downfield passing isn't as crisp as it's been better. Last week was definitely a better game, moving the ball down the field, but I still don't trust the passing. Derrick Henry really hasn't been Derrick Henry this year. He seems to get caught up at the line of scrimmage a lot. It just seems like the offense is I don't want to say moving in slow motion, but it doesn't seem quite as crisp as it needs to be. Now, I don't know if it's a blocking thing or if it's just their skill position players just aren't that fast. They're not. Derrick Henry, he can move, but he's not a speedster. And D-Hop, again, at this stage of his career, he's kind of that, Brandon Marshall stage where he'll, his route tree is limited to 7 yards, turn around and catch the pass. That's pretty much where he's at now. So they're not a very quick team. And this could be a big Tajay Spears game for them. I could see, because we saw Jalen Warren have some success against the Ravens this past week, and I could see, the Titans trying to use Tajay Spears in a similar way. But honestly, I'm on the Ravens. I think the Ravens can score. I think they ran into a Steelers defense last week that's a freaking buzzsaw, and they got caught up into it. I don't think the Titans defense is good, but it's not at the Steelers level. So we've seen the Ravens get caught up with a lot of really they played the Browns. The Texans have a decent defense. We've seen we saw them with the Steelers. Again, I feel like they've gotten caught up with some of those superior defenses. I think that's really kind of influenced why we've seen them look so rough so early. Yeah, give me the Ravens minus the 4.5. I'd lead into the over on this one. I think they do. I think they get to the 40, but just barely. Brings us to the noon games. Commanders at Falcons. Falcons minus 2.5. Over under 42.5. Gives me an idea on the current numbers on this one. So far, 69% of the bets in the spread have come in on the Commanders. 50-50 split in the over-under, hasn't moved. And on the money line, 53% of the bets coming in on the Falcons. Okay. Honestly, I'm on the Falcons here. I like them at home. They kind of come across to me as the bum slayer. This is the bad team that beats all the other bad teams, but folds up faster than, Superman on Laundry Day when they have to play anyone decent. And the Commanders, coming off a Thursday night loss to the Bears, I can't imagine a more textbook definition of a freaking bum. So I think the Falcons get the job done. I think they ground and pound them. Use Desmond Ridder when they need to, but just kind of grind their way to another ugly win at home. And I like them to cover the number. Give me the 2. I'll lay the 2.5.
I'm going with the Commanders plus the 2.5. I think the Commanders are a better team than what they showed on Thursday night against the Bears. I think their defense is better.
Yeah.
I mean, they let DJ Moore run all over them. On Thursday night. I mean, at some point, I'm going to have to get on the Falcons at some point because I've been fading them all year.
I know you have,
and for some reason they continue to win.
They're 1-4. They're only 1-4 ATS this year, so it's not that bad of a. I mean,
yeah.
I think we might have gotten screwed on number. I think we got screwed in a couple numbers because didn't they have that one with that game with the Saints where I think the line kept flipping, and I think we got caught in the wrong side of it. Yeah. Okay.
I ultimately think coaching and talent is better on the Commander's side of the ball. This will be another test this week, whether or not the Falcons are able to put something together.
Next on the list, Panthers at Dolphins. The line I have here is Dolphins minus 13.5, over under 48.5. So far, the early numbers, 90% of the bets in the spread have come in on the Dolphins. This line's actually moved. It opened at 10.5, now at 13. Over under, it opened at 46, and we've got it at 48.5. So there's been some early movement there. Most of the bets coming on the over. And I don't have a money line metric for this one. I guess nobody's betting the money line on the Panthers, so it's probably 100%. It wouldn't shock me if it was like 99% of the bets coming into the Dolphins and the money line. Is there a case for the Panthers here?
No, there's really not. I mean, the Dolphins are on fire.
Yeah.
Again, like last week, 13.5, for any other team would be too many points. But for the Dolphins, I don't think it should be a problem for them. So I am taking the Dolphins minus 13.5. It's worth mentioning that I don't know if he's their number 2 running back. Achan is out. Yeah. It sounds like he'll be out for another couple of weeks, but
I've got Raheem Mostert in like all my fantasy teams, so I'm thrilled.
Yeah. But the Panthers have not looked good so far with Bryce Young. I mean, it seems like they're going to wind up playing him most of the year, but quite honestly, they'd probably be a bit more competitive with Andy Dalton in there.
Yeah, they would.
But yeah, give me the Dolphins minus 13.
Okay, I feel like we saw this game last week with with the it's Panthers on the road against a high-powered offense. They can't score. They can make it a game with the Saints. They can't keep up with teams like the Lions or teams like the Dolphins. Bad matchup for them. They don't have the speed. They don't have the defense, and they can't really move the ball. And also, Bryce Young the interceptions killed them. The turnovers killed them last week. Like that was really more the story than anything else. And if you make those the same mistakes against the Dolphins, you're cooked 7 different ways. Even if they don't turn the ball over, I still think the Dolphins are just too fast. They're just going to run the Panthers off the field. Question here is, do the Dolphins put up 70 again?
I think that's kind of an abnormality. I'd be very shocked if that happened.
Next up on our list, we've got Vikings at Bears. Line this one, Vikings minus 2.5, over under 45. The numbers here, 68% of the bets coming in on the Bears and the spread. 59% of the bets coming into the over. It's actually, this one's moved, and it's weird movement. Open 49.5, now down to 44.5.
Probably because of the Justin Jefferson injury.
There you go. Okay. 58% of the bets on the money line coming in for the Vikings.
I mean, it's not because of the Khalil Herbert injury. That's for
we don't know that.
That's for sure.
Oh, do the Bears have a healthy running back?
They do.
Do we know his name?
I think Travis Homer had a concussion. So
yes, he did.
So they have someone else.
Let's see what we got here. Is it Dante Foreman?
Yes.
It is. Yeah, Dante Foreman is the only healthy Bears running back. They were down to their fullback last week.
Yeah.
Kari Blasingame got far too many carries because he was the only one who was, upright. Travis Homer is questionable. Roshan Johnson is questionable, and we know Khalil Herbert probably. Yeah, he's a D next to his name, but it should be an O. What are your thoughts for? A few weeks ago, I proclaimed that I'd be fading the Bears from here on out, and then the offense woke up.
And then Dick Butkus carried the Bears to an improbable.
Are they going to have patches like a 51 patch?
They should.
But
that being said, I am going with the Bears plus the 2.5. The Vikings have looked pretty terrible in most spots. Yeah, Kirk Cousins has looked lost. He's looked confused. And without Justin Jefferson, I mean, I know they have the new rookie wide receiver Addison that's been playing okay for them, but
he's been kind of invisible at times.
Without their playmaker, I think they struggle more than they have been before. So yeah, give me the Bears at home plus 2.5.
All right. I'm with you on this one, believe it or not. Bit different reasoning, just because I think the Vikings are going to Vikings. The team is just kind of a mess. I think the Bears can do enough on the offensive side that with the 2.5 they could potentially win outright. The defensive side, I'm not as without Justin Jefferson. That takes away like a lot of what made them special as an offense. You still have T.J. Hawkinson to worry about. You still have Jordan Addison and the running back situation there to kind of worry about. We've just seen the Vikings like far too often this year. Like it's like every they let the other team hang around and they give the game away. Has been the script. I mean, the only team they couldn't do that against was the Panthers, and that's just because the Panthers might be the worst team in the league. I'm on the Bears. I don't feel great about it. I'm probably not going to lock it up. I might sprinkle the money line if I'm feeling saucy. That's where I'm at. I can't bet the Vikings on the road. Just cannot do it.
Yeah, they got very lucky last year, and their luck has run out this year.
All right, next up on our list, we've got Seahawks at Bengals. Bengals -3 is the line, over under 46. The numbers here so far: 76% of the bets coming in on the Seahawks and the spread, 72% of the bets in the over, and 62% of the money line bets coming in on the Bengals. Mark, what are you thinking for Seahawks at Bengals? Weird non-conference road spot for Seahawks. What do you think?
Joe Burrow says that he's healthy. He looked pretty healthy last week.
If he's healthy, why does he have the thing on his leg every time he's on the sidelines?
Protection.
Healthy people do not need their calves massaged in between series.
Well, he did somehow get 3 touchdowns to Jamar Chase.
Okay, what are you thinking?
I'm going with the Bengals -3. I like the home team here. Again, the Bengals looked much improved last week compared to 2 weeks before. The Seahawks, again, this is kind of a toss-up for me. The Seahawks have looked good this year, but I think the Bengals are the more talented team.
Okay, I'm on the Seahawks, and honestly, I like this in the money line too. This might even be my dog. Okay, the thought process for me is that I've seen the Seahawks travel well. I trust what they do on the offensive side. I think they have a plan how they want to move the ball. Do a good job of getting the ball to the receivers in space. They do a good job on the ground with their running backs. I like that offense. That offense makes sense. I think they can score. So if it gets into a shootout, I feel like they can score with Cincinnati. The opposite side, I don't really trust the Bengals and Joe Burrow. I think he is legitimately injured. But
he says he's healthy.
He's doing the Tom Brady thing where he has like a hidden injury and is trying to play through it. This is Joe Burrow trying to do the Tom Brady thing where he plays through a hidden injury. I don't buy it. I think that the Bengals I don't trust. I didn't trust that defense last year. I don't think they're better, and that offensive line still isn't any good. Give me the Seahawks on the money line sprinkle all day. I just think I think the Seahawks are the better team. 49ers at Browns. Okay. Line on this one, 49ers -5.5 over under 38. So far, the action on this one, 75% of the bets coming in on the 49ers. The line opened at -3, is ballooned to 5.5. 73% of the bets coming in on the under. This opened at 41.5, is now at 38 and going lower. And the money line, 95% of the bets coming in on the 49ers. Again, this is a weird non-conference road spot after a big win for the 49ers. Give me the Browns plus the 5.5.
Before we go there,
okay.
The Browns were on a bye last week.
Yes, coming off a bye.
We still are uncertain about Deshaun Watson's availability.
He's going to play.
You think he's going to play?
I know he's going to play. So we've got the Browns off the bye at home.
We have the 49ers smoking the Cowboys in primetime.
Could not have wrecked the Cowboys any harder than they did. That game was over before it started. Okay, so the 49ers coming off the big win. National TV, big W, non-conference road spot, Browns at home. That Browns defense might be the best. The 49ers might be the best team. The Browns might have the best defense. Every team we've seen the Browns, that's had to face that Browns defense has looked awful. And I think Brock Purdy has had a bit. He's had a bit of the I don't want to say lucky. I think he's skillful. I think he's a skilled quarterback, but I think when it comes to turnovers, he's done really well not to turn the ball over this year. I think he's good for at least 1 or 2 turnovers against this Browns team.
Do you think Brock Purdy comes down to earth against
I think everybody comes down to earth against that Browns defense. Okay. So I'm sorry, they dominate the line of scrimmage. That defense is so nasty. Again, we've watched a lot of Browns football this year. They always seem to wind up on one of the TVs for whatever reason, and that defense is nasty. I don't want to bet against it. I like that they're getting the 5.5. I think this is probably a 1-score game. Yeah, again, you've got an over/under at 38 and a line of 5.5. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's true. Those numbers don't make a whole lot of sense. I would have thought this rate would be higher considering.
I think that Cowboys defense is a bit fraudulent, and they started to get beaten up.
I'm going with the safe pick, the 49ers minus the 5.5.
Okay.
I'm not locking it up. I still have some questions about whether or not Watson's going to play or not. If he doesn't play, then that would potentially be a lock for me. But give me the 49ers minus the 5.5.
He's got a right shoulder contusion in his rotator cuff. Listed as day to day. I think he's out there. However, okay. Do you know who the backup is? Cleveland.
Oh, wait. No.
I just saw the name.
I just saw it too. What? So they're not going with DTR.
I'd rather go with DTR.
So would I. So
yeah, go ahead.
So apparently, if you're saying the same thing that I'm saying.
I am.
The Browns are going to start PJ Walker if Deshaun Watson can't go.
Okay, if it's PJ Walker, jump on. Okay. If you think there's a chance that PJ Walker is going to start against the 49ers, jump on the 49ers immediately.
Yes.
He's got a right shoulder contusion in his in his rotator cuff. I've had rotator cuff injuries myself, and I know they're nasty. It sucks. However, he's had the bye week to get everything to calm down there. I can't imagine I think he plays. I think he plays through it. For now, assuming Deshaun Watson plays, give me the Browns plus the 5.5. This is when I would definitely wait until game time just to see, or at least until there's there's a bit more clarity. We're recording this on a Tuesday, so we've got 5 days. A lot can change in 5 days. You could, today it could be Deshaun Watson, tomorrow it could be PJ Walker. Yeah, be careful with that one. I would not bet. I understand why. It kind of makes sense to me why this is kind of ballooned now that I mention it. Yeah. So I'm reserving the right to kind of change my pick there if I want to. Okay. Next up, Colts at Jaguars. Jaguars minus 3.5. Over under 42.5. The numbers on this one so far: 88% of the bets in the spread coming in on the Colts, 74% of the bets coming in on the under, and 53% of the money line bets coming in on the Colts. What are you doing here?
Well, last week there was some question as to whether or not Anthony Richardson was going to start coming out of concussion protocol.
Oh, he started.
Well, this week we know he's not starting.
Yep.
And we'll have Gardner Minshew in place of Anthony Richardson. I got to say, I think Trevor Lawrence has looked, halfway decent through the past couple of weeks.
Well, I mean, they were playing at home these past 2 weeks.
That's true. Calvin Ridley has looked good.
He's back, yeah.
Yeah, he's been Trevor Lawrence's go-to target.
As he should be.
I'm going with the Jaguars minus the 3.5. Based on what I'm seeing here, I think looks like you're anticipating a Gardner Minshew revenge game. That's what I'm looking for.
I am 100% expecting a Gardner Minshew revenge game. Did you see that game? He's slinging it all over the place, hopping around, and he was fired up, high-fiving people. Gardner Minshew, he's a leader of men. Give me, Gardner Minshew revenge game. I like that Colts defense. I do not trust the Jaguars at all, especially coming off the big win against Buffalo. I love the Colts in this spot. Jacksonville is not a tough place to play. I like the Colts in the road spot here. I think they honestly sprinkle the money line. I think they win outright. Yeah, no, I'm big into the Gardner Minshew revenge game here. First off, they can run the ball. They got Jonathan Taylor, Zach Moss, two-headed monster. Yeah, I like their receivers matching up against that Jacksonville defense. I love that Colts defense. We've seen them we've seen them come up pretty big in a lot of spots this year. I don't trust the Jaguars at all. I think this is last week was the peak. The London win. Okay, they get out of London with 2 wins, and now they're heading back to Jacksonville. Give me the Colts. Sprinkle the money line. Let's freaking go.
It really comes down to whether or not Gardner Minshew is the man, and according to you, he is the man.
In this spot, he's Gardner Minshew revenge. And I'm sorry, he was fired up last week, man. He was slinging it. He looks like he knew the offense. He was confident. I was mesmerized by what I saw from Gardner Minshew last week. So give me the Gardner Minshew revenge game. Lock it up. Next up on the list, we have Saints at Texans. Saints minus 1.5. Over under 41. The numbers on this one to start with. So far, 68% of the bets coming in on the Texans. This line actually opened at Saints minus 1.5. 68% of the bets in the spread coming in on the Texans. 75% of the bets in the under. 60% of the money line bets in the Texans. Texans at home. What are you thinking here?
Well, I had the Texans last week, and they disappointed us.
Yes, they did.
The Saints, on the other hand, also turned the tables on us against the Patriots.
Yeah.
At home, I don't expect the Saints defense to play as well as they did against the Mac Jones Patriots. I still think the Texans have figured something out. I still think C.J. Stroud, could be a force to reckon with. I like the Texans at home. Give me the Texans plus 1.5.
Okay, I'm changing my pick. And I'll tell you why. After giving it some thought, how did the Saints beat the Patriots last week?
With defense.
The Patriots couldn't block anything the Saints were doing on defense. Texans have no healthy offensive linemen.
That's true.
So I'm thinking it's a similar game script. The only thing that concerns me is back-to-back road games for the Saints. So I'm a bit concerned there. I'll take the Saints minus 1.5 for the sheet. I'm not betting this one. This is probably a stay away from me. I don't trust the Texans to be able to block anything. If I'm honest, I was really disappointed in what we saw from the Texans last week. I thought C.J. Stroud, they were able to, they moved the ball through the air, but they couldn't do quite as much on the ground. And I think you need to have that balance against the Saints defense. I don't think they have it. So yeah, give me the Saints minus 1.5. I think just looking at the rosters, I think the Saints are a bit more talented if you go like up and down like the 52 man. Honestly, they got Alvin Kamara back. Yeah, I like that. I think that Saints defense and Saints running game travels well. So give me the Saints minus 1.5. I'm probably not betting this. It's probably a stay away from me. So that takes care of the early slate, the late afternoon games. Okay, this is where I bring my A game every week. First up, we got Patriots at Raiders. Raiders -3. Over under 41.5. On the sheet, I wrote question mark. I'm going Raiders -3. Let me give the numbers real quick on this one. I can't imagine anyone rushing out to bet this early. So far, 54% of the bets in the spread coming in on the Raiders, 86% of the bets in the under, and 82% of the money line bets coming in on the Raiders. The line opened at Vegas -1.5. It's moved to 3. It's moved to 3.5. Patriots can't block. So, and I think we saw the Raiders were, at home were actually pretty nasty on Monday night. Although Jordan Love, we talked about this before the show. I'm not saying he threw the game, but if you wanted to know what it would look like for a quarterback to throw a game, Monday night's game would be it. That first interception, he literally threw it directly at the Raiders linebacker. Even he was surprised it was in his hands. I like the Raiders defense. I think I like that Raiders defense. I like it even better at home. And I think they can do enough on offense to be able to score against the Pats. Give me the Raiders -3.
Yeah, I'm going Raiders -3 also. It should be noted that Joshy Football has defeated his mentor Bill Belichick before. You may remember he defeated the Patriots.
So we've got the Jimmy Garoppolo angle too, though.
That's true. But he successfully used Kyle Orton in defeating
Come on.
the Patriots with the Denver Broncos.
I didn't even think of that. No, it's a good angle.
It's not unprecedented that even though Bill's in a tailspin, that Joshy Football could.
Do you think Bill Belichick even knows that Josh McDaniels is still the coach? Do you think he even cares? Do you think he even cares anymore?
Probably not. Probably not.
He has the look of an old uncle who just is just over all of this crap and just cannot wait to go out back and fire up a smoke.
I think the players have started to tune him out a bit.
I think it's the opposite. I think he's tuning the players out.
Oh yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of F this kind of head shakes from him. Next up on our list, we've got Cardinals at Rams. Line on this one, Rams -6.5. Over under, we've got 48.5. The numbers on this one, 65% of the bets against the spread coming in on the Rams, 72% of the bets coming into the over, and 92% of the money line bets coming in on the Rams. I ride with my Cardinals. I think 6.5 is too many points. The Cardinals defense, again, I think it's better than it's a better defense than it looked last week against Cincinnati. We've seen it be better in weeks previous. We saw it be better against the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys offense is as good as the Bengals. No, and I think they'll be able to move the ball against this. I think Josh Dobbs is capable enough to move the ball against this Rams team. I did see that the wheels finally fell off James Conner, as they always do. They got the DeMercado. I don't know the first name. All I know is I picked him up on all my fantasy teams. I had to get DeMercado. I don't even know his first name, but I had to get him. I don't think there's the running back is, I hate to say, it's kind of interchangeable at this point. So I'm not really that concerned that they don't have James Conner. I don't think DeMercado. There's anything that James Conner can do that DeMercado can't. This is me fading the public because, I have a feeling a lot of the bets are going to come in on the Rams. They already have. We've had luck with this Cardinals team in the past. They've covered big numbers before. I think this is probably a one-score game. It's probably a field goal game, if I'm honest. I think 6.5 is just too many for this Rams team to cover. So give me the Cardinals plus the 6.5. Let's go.
Well, the Cardinals burned me last week.
Burned both of us.
I'm going to have to get off the Cardinals bandwagon for this week. I'm going with the Rams minus the 6.5. Cooper Kupp's back. I think the Rams are pretty decent. I think they might be one of the better teams in the NFC. I honestly could see them, probably getting a wild card spot when it's all said and done.
It would have to be, yeah.
I wasn't high on the Rams to start the season with, but they've looked good over the past couple weeks.
Told you, dead cat bounce to that veteran team.
Yeah, I'm going with the Rams.
Next on our list, Eagles at Jets. Eagles -7. Over under, I've 41.5. So far, 83% of the bets in the spread coming in for the Eagles, 78% of the bets in the under, and 99% of the money line bets coming in on the Eagles. Okay, honestly, I'm on the Eagles all day. First off, the Jets just lost their best offensive lineman for the season. Elijah Vera Tucker done for the year. Honestly, I think even with him, I don't think the Jets can block the Eagles defensive line at all. I think that's where they win it. I think it's going to be a long day for Zach Wilson. I really don't care that it's Eagles at home. This is probably going to be a 50-50 split in terms of crowd. I think you're going to be seeing Eagles fans traveling to Jersey. So yeah, give me the Eagles minus the 7. Lock it up. As far as the over-under, I guess I would go, honestly, I'd probably go over. I think you probably get maybe 10 points out of the Jets, and I think the Eagles are going to score. I think there's going to be a lot of there's going to be turnovers from the Jets, and I think that's going to push it to the overs. Is how I think this is going to end up. What are you thinking for this one? Same thought process?
Yeah, lock up the Eagles minus 7. I'm kind of surprised that it's that the spread is that low.
Yeah, I guess the Jets. They're coming off the win against the road win against the Broncos, so I guess that's gonna. And we've seen Zach Wilson be better. He hasn't been good, but he hasn't been.
Basically, they aren't gonna win a game against the Eagles kicking just field goals like they did against the Broncos.
No, it's not gonna happen.
So yeah, I think you can easily lock this one up.
Okay. Lions at Buccaneers. Lions -3. Over under 43.5. So far in this one, 61% of the bets on the spread coming in for the Buccaneers, 52% of the bets coming in the under, and 77% of the money line bets coming in the Lions. What are you thinking here, Hotshot?
I really like the Lions. I'm going with the Lions -3. Again, I think they're probably going to wind up winning the NFC North.
They are. I mean, I think they've locked it up pretty much. I mean, with the Packers losing, Packers and Vikings both losing last week, Bears being the Bears. I think they can, honestly, they could probably coast to a division title. I mean, how many wins do you think gets that division? Like, do you think you need 10? I think 9 wins probably gets that division.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Bucs.
They're already at 4. I mean, so that's what, there's 12 more games? Mm-hmm. So you have to win 6 more. So you go 500 from here on out, you win the division. Done.
Yeah, aside from some sort of catastrophic injury, whether it's David Montgomery or Aiden Hutchinson. David Montgomery's looks like Barry Sanders now. He's just
I don't know about that.
He's running all over the place.
He is running all over the place, like right.
But I think the Bucs are just kind of mediocre. I think they kind of surprised some people early on.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the Lions are the better team here.
Okay, I like the Bucs at home. Give me the Bucs +3. My thought on this one. Okay, and I'll tell you why. I've got to start respecting the Lions a bit more.
You do.
I know that Lions defense has made a bit of a leap. I think they're one of the better defenses in the NFC. If not, I'll say a top 5 defense in the NFC. Is that fair to say? And that offense, they've continued to be. They can move the ball. They look to move the ball. I love Sam Laporta. Okay, I don't like the road spot for them. The 3 doesn't scare me. I think they can score. This doesn't scare me. I think taking the Bucs would be too cute. I'm gonna play it safe. Give me the Lions -3. I gotta update my pick on this one. I was being too cute when I was doing the sheet.
Yeah, it seems like they're buying into MCDC. Like they're all ready to bite off kneecaps.
Yeah.
I don't mess with the Lions.
No, you don't. No, you respect the Lions. Okay. All right. Next up, Sunday Night Football. Giants at Bills. Bills -14.5. Over under at 44.5. So far, the numbers on this one: 65% of the bets coming in on the Bills. Giants have yet to cover a game. 0-5 ATS this year. 57% of the bets coming in the under, and 98% of the bets coming in the Bills money line. Is there any case for the Giants here?
I think we got to check on Danny Dimes' neck injury.
That's a good point. I don't think he's playing this week because this isn't the first neck injury that he's had. So it wouldn't shock me if they held him out. Because I think it was 2 years ago that they held him out for like 8 weeks with a sprained neck. Daniel Jones' neck injury believed to be less severe than the one in 2020. Well, first off, I hate to say this, I think the one in 2021 was. Let's just say I think they encouraged him to stay injured. Let's just say I don't think they wanted to rush him back. Daniel Jones changes tune on neck injury with Giants status in question.
Despite the Bills losing in London, I'm going with the Bills minus the 14. I do think the Giants are a better team with Tyrod Taylor.
I don't think it matters.
I think it does.
I do not. They can't block anybody.
That's true. I think
that's another team. They can't block anybody.
I think Saquon is still out too, isn't he?
He is not back yet.
Okay.
Based on what I'm seeing, I don't think there's going to be any great need to rush him back.
Yeah.
So I do think 14 for this is a bit beefy. It's Giants on the road going to Buffalo. Buffalo's going to be lit. It's a hostile environment. The Giants have been a mess. They can't block. I don't love the Bills because I think they're banged up too, especially in defense. I think Matt Milano's out for the year, if I'm not mistaken, or at least he's going on IR. I can't remember which, but either way, he's probably going to miss the game as well. I just think that the Bills actually have firepower. They have Stephon Diggs. Gabriel Davis is legit. Mm-hmm. Okay, he's like a legit number 2 receiver. He's not just a guy. I like their tight ends. I like their running backs. I like that offense. You see the Bills kind of run the Giants off the field. I can't see a case for this Giants team. They've turned into a mess, and I really wasn't expecting that. I thought that if anything, they made the playoffs last year. Mm-hmm. They brought the team back this year. They added a few pieces. They can't block anybody, especially up the middle. Especially the guard and center combo in the Giants is one of the worst in the league. Turnstiles is what they are. So I don't, whether it's Tyrod or whether it's Danny Dimes. My guess is it's Tyrod. I don't think it matters. Bills -14. You on the same page?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Next up, Monday Night Football. I love this game. I cannot wait to bet this game. I'm so excited about it. Cowboys at Chargers. Cowboys -2. Over under 51. Numbers on this one. Early bets. 60% of the bets coming in on the Chargers on the spread. 71% of the bets to the over. The over actually moved. It opened at 47.5. Has moved 3.5 points. And money line bets 52% coming in on the Chargers. What are you doing on Monday night?
Bolt up. Going Chargers +2. I guess the real question is whether or not the Cowboys embarrass themselves again on primetime TV.
Note on this game, Austin Eckler, 99% chance he plays. You're going to have the Chargers probably with Austin Eckler back. So I don't know if that change. If anything, that should strengthen your, the side you're taking.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to be the contrarian here. I'm taking the Cowboys -2. Reason being, LA is not San Francisco. Okay. It's your Los Angeles crowd. They're going to show up in the second quarter and they're going to leave by the third quarter. So it's not exactly a hostile environment. It's on turf. That offense should perform better on turf. I don't trust the Chargers defense at all. I kind of feel like this game script is going to be similar to the game with the Chargers and Vikings. I think the Cowboys are a bit more capable than the Vikings are, at least in terms of like not giving away games. I think you're going to see a Cowboys team that comes out a bit more, that comes out a bit fired up after getting embarrassed on Sunday night. Give me the Cowboys -2. I will take the under on this one. I think 51. I know you look at the offenses. I think we've seen this happen like multiple times, especially with the Chargers, where they have these like beefy over-unders and it ends up being like 21-17. That's my thought process here. I like the Cowboys -2. And give me the under.
I think the Chargers defense, even without Joey Bosa, have looked pretty good. Khalil Mack, what he said, a team record for sacks against the Raiders' backup quarterback. But the Cowboys just look so terrible on Monday night.
Wait. What happened to them from Sunday night against the Giants when they're the world beaters?
Oh, well.
That was week 1.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think the Chargers are a bit better than people give them credit for. I'm going with the Chargers.
All right, fair enough. Okay, locks this week. What are you locking up? I think I've already said mine. I'm locking up the Eagles -7.
You can do Eagles -7. I also like Chiefs -10.5.
Give me that Eagles. Give me that. That's my lead pipe lock, double whale, triple diamond, 5-unit mega play for whales only. My dog for the week. Give me the Colts +3.5.
I knew you were going to say it.
Colts +3.5 is one. I'll even do that, and I'll even do a secondary dog. Yeah, give me the Colts the Colts +3.5 and the Seahawks +3. I'll go double dog. I'll even parlay that money line. Seahawks Colts money line parlay. It's got to be at least 4-1, maybe 5-1. I'd have to do the math on it, but still, yeah. Give me the Seahawks Colts money line parlay. If I want to get saucy, let's see who can we sprinkle in there.
I can no longer use the Bears as my lock or my dog, so I'm going to eliminate the Bears as a dog. Give me the Texans.
Your little dog.
Yeah, give me the Texans.
And your lock? Or you said Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs and or Eagles. You can go with a lock.
I'm locking up the Eagles. If I were to do a bonus lock, yeah, I guess if I were to do a bonus, it would be the Chiefs. If I had to pick, because I'd want to have at least one home team in there. I would want to go. It'd be going. My two dogs would both be on the road. My two locks would be both on the road. That's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
Just to mix it up. The Chiefs would be my bonus lock if I had to do one. All right, Mark. That's week 6. This has been the Locks and Dogs podcast for week 6 of the NFL season. Check out locksanddogs.com for the latest in gambling picks and news. Hit that subscribe button to get notifications for the latest episodes and leave us a review. Mark always loves the 5-star reviews. They make him feel all warm and tingly. I just want to hear from you. If you got any comments, we'd love to hear from you. For Locks and Dogs, this is Matt.
This is Mark.
And we'll see you next week.